Hello, Gothamites, and welcome back to the Batcave here on Welcome to the Batcave. I am Daniel Pickett from ActionFigureInsider.com, and I'm joined with my lovely host, as always, Tatiana Hollander from the Flash podcast.
Yes, here I am to talk Batman with you.
That's right. Once again, we're going to talk all things Bat goodness here, from comics to movies to TV to collectibles, just whatever's going on in the world of Batman, in the world of Gotham City, in the world of DC. We're going to talk about it here tonight.
Yeah, we are.
And we're going to start off, as always, with a little bit of comic book news. And I know that you have quite a fondness for some of the storylines happening right now in the comics.
Y'all.
Would you like to talk about what the latest revelations of the week?
Okay. Well, as you guys know, Selena Kyle made her big re-entrance back into Batman comics recently. And issue number 10, which came out last week, was narrated by her, in a sense, because it just had a letter she wrote to Bruce, just like throughout all the pages, while Batman was like breaking into Bane's place, or fake breaking in, like he got captured by Bane, and then he found the way out in order to be able to sneak his pseudo-suicide squad in afterward, right? But in the meantime, we have Selena's letter to Bruce, which I died. I was crying. It was beautiful. I laughed. I cried. I
A comic book made you cry?
Yeah, comic books make you cry all the time.
I know.
Do comic books not make you cry? Is that not a thing?
Not so much.
You have no feelings?
No, it's
You have
not.
no heart? What is this?
Got plenty of feelings.
I don't know what's going on, but that's okay. I'm going to read you part of what she said because.
No, wait. Am I going to cry now?
You should cry. Okay.
So
listen.
I'm not prepared for this.
All right. Even though in New 52 it was established that she didn't know that Batman was Bruce, she clearly knows now. Okay.
Okay.
And we learned that when she was little, you know, her parents died. She was an orphan. And she was in foster care, but she ran away from foster care to live in the Wayne orphanage because she felt like she felt more at home there. She felt like that was her family. And she's like obsessed with the picture of the Waynes on the wall, right? Okay. So then she's talking about that in her childhood, and that's the reason why, by the way, she killed those 237 people, because they were part of the terrorist organization that bombed the Wayne orphanage and killed the orphans that were living there at the time.
Okay.
So she got her revenge by killing all the people that were involved with that.
All right.
Okay. So she's talking, we're alike in so many ways, you and I, the cat and the bat, broken orphans dressed as animals jumping from rooftops. It's why, in some ways, we work. Why we work together, I mean. Why when we kiss, the pain goes away. You feel that too, right? How just for 1 second the pain is gone? But in some ways, maybe the important good ways, we're not alike at all. That's why the kiss never lasts. You'll always be the little boy in that picture, and I'll always be the little girl looking up at you, smiling at the handsome little lie. So sad, right? You should be crying right now.
I'm not
it was
crying.
so sad.
I'm not crying. You're crying. I'm not crying.
Anyway, I love it. I love it because I love how it really sets it up as sort of like the love that cannot be situation, right? Because she's saying, you're never going to come down to my level, and I'm never going to go up to yours. So, but it's okay. They're still going to make out at some point. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I'm not worried.
As long as there's making out. I think everyone will be happy.
As long as they make out, it's fine.
Yeah, it's be fine.
But yeah, other stuff definitely happened. Like Batman saying he's going to break Bane's back instead of the opposite.
That'll teach him.
Yeah, right? He's like, this time I'm doing you. And he said it like 10 times. Like he just kept, I thought he was like a robot Batman at first. I was like, he like sent a robot in his place to confuse people. But no. And he also fought like an entire army, like just one man. It was crazy. It was awesome. You should definitely read this comic if you haven't already. There are other comics, though.
There sure are. They keep publishing them every week.
Such as there's Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle
It's not really
Adventures.
Versus, though.
No, it's just and. You're right. It's and.
Yeah.
It's something like that. Joined by, and it's published by IDW. Which
Right.
Is, yeah.
But this is slightly different because they just wrapped up a series that was Batman Ninja Turtles.
Right.
That was set more in the comic book continuity for both universes. This is like the animated Batman and the animated Ninja Turtles, which is also another great idea. You know, two universes that people love.
Yeah.
So it's the current sort of Nickelodeon animated series, not the old, the old 80s cartoon.
Oh,
but,
okay.
For the Ninja Turtles anyway, but it is the Batman animated series from the 90s, which is the updated version, the more sort of new Batman adventure.
I mean, it already looks like a lot of fun just looking at the preview pages, you know, like the Turtles all have, of course, their different personalities, and I love it was like where Batman's like even less happy. Anyway.
Yes.
But it's the kind of comical angst that Batman gets to have in this version.
But it's a great extension of that universe that they already established in the comic thing. And of course, it's like two great animated properties meeting together. Since we already were able to do it, the comic version, let's do this. And I mean, whoever came up with that, I would buy them a sandwich or an ice cream cone of their flavor.
Well, the plot is just basically Batman is tracking a villain in Gotham that somehow winds up in New York City.
Right.
And I guess because I haven't read the previous versions of Batman and Ninja Turtles.
Right.
So I'm interested to see how they're differentiating New York City from Gotham. Is it literally like it crosses the multiverse, or is New York City a different city from Gotham?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Do you know the answer? You don't know. Okay, you don't know the
in
answer.
this world, I don't know how they're handling.
You don't know something?
I know a lot of things.
Jeez.
It's just it's not out yet.
I thought that with age comes wisdom. Like, what is happening?
That is not true. I can tell you that right now.
All right. The other comic that came out this last week, or no, I'm lying to you. It's coming out in the future. I just traveled in time. Is All-Star Batman #4, coming out in 2 days, right? So it looks...
Depending on when you're watching this.
Right. It could be. It could
internet.
already have come out for you. You don't know.
This could be 2 years later. And you're like, what? She said it was coming in 2 days. I've got it already bagged and boarded, hanging on my wall.
The day after Hillary becomes president is when it's coming out. Sorry. So Batman is fighting Two-Face, but he's been like blinded. Like Two-Face is blinding him
with acid, like pouring acid on his face.
I don't know how are his eyes recovering?
That was spooky stuff.
Yeah, and then Duke's like pinned down by like several, I don't know, huge ass needles. Like I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
But so I don't know how they're gonna get out of that, and we're gonna find out how they're gonna get out of that.
It sounds very. I mean, like the preview pages, like it's very graphic, like talking about like the blood vessels in your eyes burning and like.
Right, and they've been going all out consistently with this story.
Yeah.
And I don't even like.
And it's just issue 4.
Yeah, exactly. So much happens every issue, and also it's just like set up in like several different stories in one issue.
Right.
That are never actually happening at the same time. So I spend every issue super confused, but I love it. So there you go.
All right.
That's my comic book info.
Now there were some nutty things in the movie world happening.
Nutty things.
Kind of this way. Yeah. The big story was, and again, like anything, there's a story one day, and then there's the retraction in the next story the next day.
That's happening a lot with DC.
That happens a lot. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, especially with their movie universe.
Yes.
Yeah. So the story started out, and I'm gonna have to read this here because it's a little bit lengthy.
Right.
Bret Easton Ellis.
From Psycho fame, by the way, and also from the fame of trying to do 50 Shades of Grey and failing.
Right. So he was on some sort of publicity tour. He was having an interview. Someone said he was talking about the Batman script that's shooting, that they're getting ready to start, the Ben Affleck movie. And he says he was having dinner with some executives. He said they were telling me that there were some serious problems with the script, and the executives I was having dinner with were complaining about the people who work on the Batman movie. And they said that they went to the studio and they said, look, the script is, here's 30 different things that are wrong with it that we can fix. And the executives allegedly said, we don't care. We really don't care. The amount of money that this movie is going to make globally, I mean, 70% of our audience is not even going to be seeing this in English. It doesn't matter. These things that you were bringing up about the flaws of the script. So that was the quote within his quote that people latched onto.
Somehow that became a rumor that there were issues with the script. I wonder how it's possible that turned into a rumor. I don't know.
And all of the online places picked it up and started perpetuating that. And I'm sure Mr. Ellis got a call in the middle of the night from some DC executives and said, hey, we wish you hadn't said that.
Right.
Maybe we change that a little bit. So then his follow-up says, the two executives I was having dinner with were relating problems that they had heard about the script from people working on the Batman project. That's all. I know no one involved with the Batman movie. I didn't realize that my comics would make it into the Ringer piece or that I would be cited for that particular movie. I have no idea what the Batman script is like, and I regret that it came off as I was disparaging the project. Another reason to be careful in interviews.
Right. He obviously didn't say off the record.
Right. Well, it was just like, is he really just now learning how the internet
Right.
works?
Yeah.
People find every tiny little kernel
Yep.
and want to be the first person to run with it, and then everyone else speaks, and then it becomes kind of a big game of telephone.
Yeah.
So,
And the thing is, I wouldn't be surprised if that really did happen, because that is something that executives do. I feel like we're seeing more and more that executives don't really know what the people want, you know?
yes, but I feel like there is enough pressure
You would hope that they would be changing
on
that now.
everyone involved in all the DC movies that they are going to try their darndest.
I would hope so.
I mean, they've already started making changes and made them very, very public. They have made sure they have been inviting journalists, like, to the set of Justice League.
Yeah.
Like, this is a big deal for Warner Brothers and DC.
And the Wonder Woman trailer does look great.
Yes, a new trailer
yeah.
dropped this week. It was fantastic. Got to see a little bit of new stuff in
Yeah.
there. That was fun.
It's you see more sides to Diana. You know, you
Yes.
see a little bit, and you see a little bit of the levity as well with Etta Candy, who was great in the last little bit.
Yes.
And you know what? I have to say, Chris Pine is really killing it in that role so far, from what I've seen. You know,
Right.
at first I was like, whatever, okay, generic Steve Trevor love interest, but he's really got Steve Trevor. I feel it in my heart.
Yep. So that should be, you know, everyone that watched that, all the comments I saw pretty universally was still on board,
Yeah.
can't wait. Because again, there was another weird rumor that came out.
Right, that it was
That
it
it was
a
in
mess.
trouble, too, yeah.
And I feel like I have faith in Patty Jenkins at the very least. You know, as long as network executives aren't interfering with her vision, then I think it's gonna be great.
I think so. So, yeah. So don't listen to all the rumors, folks. Because sometimes it just becomes a big game of telephone where one
true.
guy said one thing that he heard from a thing and it's not gospel. So that's your internet lesson for today.
Something that is gospel.
Yes. There was some casting news for Justice League, and that is that Syrian Hands is now cast as Steppenwolf, who is
Yes.
the villain of the piece. I know a lot of people were speculating a while ago that it would be Darkseid as the villain.
Right.
That you think when the Justice League teams up, they're going to want to go after somebody big.
Right.
But
I feel like I only know Steppenwolf through like a connection to Darkseid.
well,
So-
yeah, he is from Apocalypse. He is one of Darkseid's henchmen.
Right.
So yeah, he's certainly tied to that whole Kirby Fourth World stuff.
So do you think that it's gonna lead to Darkseid in another movie, or
Well, that's kind of the weird thing because initially Justice League was going to be a two-part film, much
right.
like, you know, Avengers Infinity War. And when all the sort of shakeup started happening with, you know, with everyone involved, it seems like Justice League is now a single movie. So, yes. I mean, they certainly alluded to Darkseid in Batman vs.
Yeah,
Superman.
yeah, they
You know,
did.
we saw the big
but there was a
Omega.
Steppenwolf
saw-
deleted scene.
There was a Steppenwolf deleted scene that they released officially on
Yeah.
YouTube, like the day the movie came out or the day after.
Right.
But we saw in like the Bruce's nightmares and stuff. We saw parademons.
Yes.
We saw the big Omega symbol in the dirt. So we certainly has established Lord Darkseid is coming, but and I don't think it's too much spoilers because it is in the Justice League trailer. You do see some mother boxes.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is how you travel, you know, apocalyptians travel back and forth to Earth with the mother boxes in the U-tubes, or the U-tubes, the boom
U-tubes.
tubes.
The U-tubes.
The boom tubes. They could travel by YouTube. No, the boom tubes. So yeah, so we certainly know that Kirby's Fourth World and Apocalypse is going to be some part of this greater DC universe at some point.
Yeah.
But Steppenwolf is going to be the main villain, and now what's his character in Mans? Is that his name on Game of Thrones?
Oh, Mance
Yeah,
Raider.
Mance,
Yeah, that's who he
yeah.
was.
So,
before he passed, sadly. Hopefully, he'll get more to do in Justice League than he did in Game of Thrones, because they really cut down his.
But seeing
his
that
character.
Steppenwolf deleted scene, he's going to be a big CG character. It looks like.
But his voice is like the best thing about him. So.
Right. Yeah. And if they go
other
with
things
that
will bring
exact
value, I'm
if
sure.
they go with that exact design, I don't know.
Yeah.
They may change it up since that was not an official.
I heard they were going to step it up. They said something about
Step it, wolf it up.
Yep, stepping.
Go.
Wow, that was great. That was
Thank you.
great.
Thank you very much. That's why I'm here. I'll be here all week, folks.
A minor sort of movie news is that we got it turns out there was like a Batman Easter egg on the Supergirl set. and it's not exactly like on screen, but if you looked really closely at the wall of the bar, you would eventually find it, I'm sure. And it's a quote from the 1989's Batman.
Correct.
Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Which is the, what Jack Napier, a.k.a. the Joker, would say before he'd murder people, specifically Bruce Wayne's parents.
Oh.
So yeah, there's a, it's just kind of neat. So, you know, they moved the whole production of Supergirl from LA to Vancouver, so they had to build new sets. You know,
and there's lots of like little
while they were in
like
there,
that.
they started kind of doing some fun other things. And I've heard there are a few more Easter eggs, same sort of thing on the set.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff like Darkseid is coming and stuff like that.
Yes, yeah.
Which may or may not actually be relevant to the movie universe.
Right.
But would be cool if it was.
Absolutely, yes. But just kind of a neat thing, you know, the set guys having fun and tying it all together. I support that sort of, those shenanigans.
Yes.
So
it shows a love of the material.
Yes, totally. And then amazing movie news. I didn't think any of us could be more excited about the Lego Batman movie until they released yet another trailer full of crazy stuff.
Yes.
And, you know, we get more a sense of the voice cast now. Zach Galifianakis as the Joker. Michael Cera as Robin.
Rosario Dawson as Barbara Gordon. I love it. I love it.
And who did I just hear was Harley, that comedian.
Oh, no.
It's escaping me right now.
Describe this comedian to me. I'm going to say Amy Schumer right
she's
now.
an actress and a comedian, and I can't think of her
I'm literally
name.
saying Amy Schumer off the top of my head.
It is not. It's not her.
Okay.
But very funny. But, you know, we've again, with each of these trailers, they've shown, like at one point they showed a Justice League lineup that had like, you know, Aquaman and Cyborg in it. This time we saw some of the Joker's goons.
Yeah.
And it was some of the deepest cut DC villains you could ever hope to see. Things like the Kite, Crazy Quilt, King Tut, the Human Eraser. Like, the fact that someone dug all that stuff up is bonkers. But I couldn't be more excited for that movie when it hits in 2017.
I mean, the Lego movie was already amazing, and the Batman Lego movie looks like it's shaping up to be just as good. So
yeah. So if you haven't seen that new trailer, make sure you check it out, because it's fun to be excited about a Batman movie.
It is. So, that's for sure. There's definitely no rumors about scripts messing up in this one.
Right. That's right. Yeah. But as always,
Tell me about your toys.
Well, we'll talk about them in just a minute. But just to join in the live conversation here on YouTube, if you like, you can always talk to us using the hashtag Welcome to the Batcave.
You can do that.
That's all available to you right now, just right in front of you with the technology you have.
Speak words to us.
Yes.
And before you go on to the toys, we know that Young Justice was renewed.
Oh, yeah, that's the news just today. That is breaking news.
Yeah, we don't have anything to show for that, but I can't wait. I'm so excited. Y'all made it happen, whoever you are. Enough fans finally, yelled at the clouds, and it's happening.
And that's pretty crazy. I mean, that is an expensive relaunch, sort of get the band back together, especially when they've moved on to other projects and things. Young Justice was a great show. So to finally get a season 3 for that, amazing. So very much looking forward.
You're the toy expert. So is it true that because I know that before it was like there's like a barrier between like girls' toys and boys' toys, and the reason Young Justice was canceled is because girls were the ones watching it, and the toys should be for boys or whatever. So is that not the case anymore? Have they sort of broken down that?
Well, that initial rumor, I think, was started by one of the voice cast. Back in the day.
Yeah.
Cartoon Network is not always kind to superhero shows.
Yeah.
It has a tendency to move them around a bit, and it's hard to find them. So I don't think you can fully hang that all on the Mattel toys, shall we say. Mattel made a very robust line.
Yeah.
They had store exclusives. They had them both in sort of the 4-inch and the 6-inch scale. I mean, they put a lot of stuff out there. So I don't feel like it sort of lived and died by the toys. And it was a dense show also. I mean, it really expected a lot of its audience, which was what made it so great. So, you know, it was sort of like Lost. You miss a few episodes and you're like, what's going on? And especially from season 1 to 2, where it jumped in time.
Right.
You know, you know, so it was a thinking man's cartoon. So yeah, I'm not going to hang on that.
Hopefully it will continue to be.
I hope it will. Absolutely. Yes, keep it going. Good on you. I love it. So yeah, some of the collectible Batman items. This was kind of a crazy one. I got a press release about this week. It's the 4D Gotham City puzzle. Now I know some of you are saying 4D.
Right. It moves through time?
Right. That makes time and space interchangeable. But, you know, what that really means is, it's this 4D cityscape. So it's in these varying levels. The first is a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle that teaches you about the various locations and regions of Gotham City. Then on top of that, there's a second layer of like a 200-piece sort of topographical map of all of Gotham.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, they actually have all the buildings that you plug into it.
Like at that point, it's like a model. It's like not a puzzle anymore.
and then one of the buildings, the GCPD headquarters, has a little LED in it, and it has the bat signal coming out of it.
Do they have a Batman that'll come for you when you call with the signal?
Oh, I'm sure that's I'm sure that's coming. So that's coming soon. It's manufacturer suggested retail price of about $90, but you know, you could spend a good afternoon putting all of Gotham City together in these different layers. So
it would definitely probably be worth your time.
Totally, yeah. And, you know, it's got some great landmarks, like, you know, like I said, Gotham PD. It's got the Ace Chemical Plant, the Wayne Tower, the Iceberg Casino and Lounge. You know, all the sort of Bat Universe locations that you.
Yeah, and this is the first time they're going to have sort of like the full map of Gotham City, right?
Right. Yeah. Totally.
I read that somewhere.
Another great collectible coming out this week from when we're recording it, coming out on Wednesday at your local comic shops from my good friends at DC Collectibles. They are continuing their amazing line of Batman black and white statues. This line has been running for many, many years, and occasionally they will step outside of just Batman and we get some of the other characters. And now we are getting the Joker from Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, the original, when he steps out on stage onto the David Endicott show before he murders everyone. I don't think that's spoilers because we're at the 30th anniversary of Dark Knight Returns.
You should know that by now.
But yeah, I love these Batman black and white statues. I've got a ton of them, and it's great to see all the different artists captured in 3 dimensions, and you know, just using that black and white paint scheme really just brings out all the detail as they are translated into 3D from 2D. So check that out at your local comic book shop. Or, you know, if you have an online shop that you like, they're out there too. But
really go to your local comic book shop.
Well, yeah, everyone likes the local comic book shop. And then for show and tell today, I've got some other goodies that my friends from the Wish Factory sent out. These are brand new, just now hitting stores. So they have a line called Kawaii Cubes, which are these plush characters that are square, and they have several different licenses that are, you know, they have the DC, they have some Star Trek ones, but now they've made this new line called Nesters, and they're these little plastic guys, and you can get them in either 3-packs or these 9-packs. And it's a wide range of sort of DC characters. So you certainly have the Bat family of Batman, Robin. Interestingly enough, Catwoman is here on the packaging, but she is not in Series 1 anywhere.
These lies.
So they're teasing us. But the fun thing about them, again, you know, they're square. You can stack them, but they call them nesters because, let's see here, you can open them up.
Oh my God.
That. You open up Robin, what happens? You put Harley in there?
Inside.
Yes. You open up Harley right there.
Oh.
And the little Superman goes in there. He goes away there.
I was not expecting this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the surprise. That's the nest. That's why they call them nesters.
Yeah, it's like a little Russian doll.
It is sort of like that, yeah. And so each pack has a mystery, at least one mystery figure in it. It could be right there. There is a little thing inside you can see here that will show you all the different characters that they have for Series 1, and they have regular paint jobs on them, and then they have what they call these pop paint jobs, which are the sort of colored one. But then also hidden, you can find these metallic paint jobs right here, you see?
They're hidden, like they're nested inside, or?
Oh, they are, I don't know if they're nested, I think they're in
they might be
the
these.
mystery
That makes
cubes.
sense.
Yeah. So
That makes sense.
they, as you can see, they come in these 3 different scales of guys. You got the little one
I love it.
in each one. So I personally have seen them at Target stores already. And yeah, I'm going to crack these open soon on Action Figure Insider and do a full little review. But I thought I just got them in the mail from them, so I thought we could also debut them here. The Nesters from Wish Factory.
I love it.
Yeah, that's fun stuff.
So I don't get a Catwoman nester.
Not yet. Not yet. She's clearly coming. They've done the design for her.
But I did do a Catwoman fan cast for you guys, because last week we were talking about who could play Selena Kyle. So I basically just Googled Cuban actresses over 30 who can believably play Ben Affleck's love interest and pick my favorites. So here we have Melissa Fumero, who you may know from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And we have Eva Mendes, whom you may know from lots and lots of movies, and also giving Ryan Gosling children. and Odette Annabelle of Gina Torres, who is like my top fan cast for literally everything. And I love the idea of Selena being even a little older than Bruce.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Denai, she just went away, but Denai Garcia. I originally had Rosario Dawson, but my friend was like, she is so oversaturated, please don't do Rosario Dawson. And also she's already the night nurse basically in Marvel, so
that is true.
It's okay. Denai can do it instead. And the last one that I did, I almost forgot her name here, but Nona Gay. So yeah, they're all Cuban. I just really want a Cuban Selena Kyle in case you can't tell. So yeah, you guys can tell me what other fan casts you have for her. There's plenty more, like Christina Milian, but I actually haven't seen her act in like 10 years, so I don't actually know.
Well, thank you for actually doing your homework from last week and turning it in a timely fashion. We appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So yeah, I think that's a ton of fun. So if there's other fan casts that you'd like to see Tatiana or myself take on.
I want to see your fan cast for things.
All right.
Yeah, what are your feelings on
I
actors?
think everything should be Zach Galifianakis.
Well, okay.
Just
that
everything.
would be interesting.
Just across the board.
Zach
Batman,
Galifianakis with
Robin,
everyone.
Superman, should be fine.
Lois Lane.
Lois Lane, he'd be terrific.
Lord.
Yes.
And our final piece of fan news.
Yes.
I was the fan in the previous news, in case you couldn't tell, is a photographer named Lucas Ambrosio did a recreation of Robin's death, you know, the hint that we got from Batman versus Superman. So he had, they had actors playing Joker and Robin, and they actually, they released even, a little trailer for it, but really, the whole story is told in the set photos, and you see, you can see him, attacking him and overpowering him, you're writing the, last laugh.
Right. It's tying in with that little scene in Batman versus Superman where you just see Robin's costume in the case with the words written on it, but sort of tied it back in and made it very sort of death in the family-ish.
Exactly. So it's definitely Jason Todd.
Jason Todd tied to a pole, beat with a crowbar. And just kind of a neat little, fan film deleted scene almost, you could say.
Which hopefully we're going to get to see or hear about in the Batman movie itself.
Right.
I don't know. We still don't know if do we know if we're going back in time or moving forward?
Well, there was a thing that came out when Suicide Squad came out. You remember each of the little descriptions, there was a thing saying that Harley killed Robin.
Yes.
So that's kind of an interesting twist on that. So apparently in the DC movie universe, it was Harley that took him out.
Or at least she'll be majorly implicated in it.
Absolutely, yes.
But yeah, that's our Bat world for the day.
That is. So please make sure you are subscribing here at theStream.tv. And as always, we can keep the conversation going by using the hashtag Welcome to the Batcave. We'll keep talking at you. Again, if there's fan cast stuff you want us to do, we'll take that on. If there's some collectibles you want to see us feature, we'll do that too. We are here to talk Batman with you.
24/7.
24/7, that's right. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you have a great Bat week, and we'll be back very soon next week with a new Welcome to the Batcave.
Yeah, and vote tomorrow.
Vote. Like Batman says, vote.
Yes.